Hey, so just thought I'd do a very brief video just looking at what comics I got this week. Um, I'm a bit of a dumbass because of having the shingles. My memory at the moment is shocking, and I forgot to order the Penguin new issue #1, Doom Patrol 5, and Night Terrors Detective #2. So I'll do a review of those with my next batch of comics, which will be sometime next week. So there's just 5 issues, and yeah, I'll give you my thoughts on them. So the first one is Tenement, and this is by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. Really, really gorgeous artwork. Very, very atmospheric storytelling. So this is all part of the the Bone Orchard mythos. Um, I think it's a lot better than the rest of the titles that they've released in this line. It's a very, very cool horror story. The artwork adds so much to the story as well, so much atmosphere. It's if you're not getting it, do get it when it comes out in collected editions because you won't be disappointed. Like I said, I found it flows so much more fluid than the last series what they did, which I can't remember what the name was, something Black Feathers, whatever it was, Thousand Black Feathers, something like that. And it's all set inside this building, and this building leads supposedly to another dimension, but it's not. It's not elaborating more on what it is yet. But the mystery is increasing, and the threat levels are increasing, and things happen much more in this issue. The tension and the feeling of menace has been ramped with this issue. Yeah, so I would give this a 9 out of 10. Highly recommend it if you can get back issues, because it's only up to the third issue so far. Do buy it, or if you can't, wait for the collection and get it then. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for that. The only thing a bit disappointing in mine, because of it being a white cover, it's a bit discoloured on the edges there, so not happy about that. And then got the book 4 of Night Terrors. Now, really good story, great artwork. Joshua Williamson's perfect blending of horror meets superheroes. Nice team of artists on it. The artists who are working on it are it's Giuseppe Cole, Stefano Nessi, and Casper Wingard. What I love about it as well is how they've got Deadman as the host. I mentioned this last time in the last issue. And he so needs to have his own horror comic. It'd be so great. Whether he's the host like Twilight Zone kind of style, or House of Secrets, or whether he has his own adventures like a supernatural detective series. But yeah, very pleasing comic. The only thing I have against this whole miniseries is how they've got the big thick zero issue and then they've got a concluding issue afterwards. So it says it's 4 issues, but it's not, because you've got to get the final big fat one which comes out next week, and you had to get the one before it as well before the series started. So because of that, and because I feel it's a bit misleading, I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10. Because if you weren't aware that you had to get those, you'd wonder what was going on. Like I said, it's incomplete, because it's concluded in the final issue, which is the chunky one. So yeah, but if you thought, oh, I'm not going to get any Night Terrors, you have missed out on very interesting events. I initially wasn't going to get it, but the more I heard about it, the more I was thinking I could be wrong this time, and I was. But you don't need to get all these spin-offs. I've just got Detective, so I kind of like got the ones where I like the creative team. So I've got Detective, I've got Green Lantern, I've got the Flash, and I'm very happy with what I've got. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10, just because it's misleading in how they've solicited the comic. And then with this gorgeous Red Sonja covered by Kevin Eastman. This is the first issue. So I was umming and ahhing for this, and I was umming and ahhing so long that it's sold out of this issue, but it came back in stock with my online comics seller. So I was able to get the Kevin Eastman cover for the first issue. And it's written by Torun Grumbeck, who did 4 recently. and the artwork is by Walter Giovanni. I've bought this for the writing, I must admit. The artwork's good. It's solid. It's workmanlike. It's not like when you get with the new Conan comic. That's the perfect mesh of art and story. This very much is more story first, art second. But I've seen worse arts. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's just average. There's some quite dynamic poses. There's some parts where it really shines, but then there's other parts like this here where I'm just like, eek. But then there's other parts which are quite nice, like this bit here. So it's a very mixed bag art wise, but story wise, solid, very solid. Up there with the new Conan comic. It's a really good time to be if you're a fan of sword and sorcery and fantasy comics. It's a good time to be buying them. I'm still hoping to get Fire and Ice #1. I keep forgetting to pick it up, so I'm going to have a look in my local comic shop tomorrow. And if I find it, then I'll do a review of it because that looks gorgeous inside. Dynamite have really upped the game. But yeah, I'd say Conan is the best sword and sorcery one out at the moment. But this one, I give it 8 out of 10 for story, 6 out of 10 for artwork. And I got #2. This cover is gorgeous as well. Don't know who's doing it, but I really like it. And it continues the story. So this came out this week. And I do think the artwork's improved quite a bit. Like there's not as much like what I call the Lee Field syndrome, where you just see the figures and the background's just made up by the colour artist. This artwork has quite a bit more depth to it. So the artwork has improved, I must admit. So for this one, great, like I said, really fun story. Again, 8 out of 10 for story. And I give the art this time 7 out of 10 because he has upped his game. And then we've got Ribbon Queen #2. And I haven't read this one yet, so I can't give a review on it. This is what I mean about having the shingles. I thought I'd read it, but I haven't. Oh dear. But the artwork looks absolutely fantastic. This artist, it's Jason Burrows, who did a lot of Avatar stuff. I hated him when he did his Avatar stuff, but he's really tightened up his art style. It reminds me a bit of Goran. Oh, there used to be an artist called Goran somebody or other. I think he's dead now, unfortunately. He did a lot of Vertigo stuff. But yeah, the art's very, very clean. And I can't wait to read it, even though I thought I had read it. So I apologise. So let's give the artwork 9 out of 10 and the story a big question mark, but I'm sure it'll be good. So with this one, if I remember, I'll put this on my next review, pal. Okay, so like I said, I do apologise for the videos this past few weeks because my head's not in it at all. But I just thought I'd do this before I forgot. So I'll do another one for reviews for next week if I get hold of if I'm able to get hold of the Penguin, Doom Patrol, and Night Terrorist Detective. I'll do another review for those on Sunday or Monday, and I'll include a review of this. And hopefully over the weekend I'll look at all the brand new #1s coming out from the major publishers, and I might have a little rant about Marvel because all I can say is go on to Flight Bleeding Cool and look at the new releases for November for Marvel and just look at the prices and you'll see what I am going on about. I've stopped getting any Marvel now in physical. I am just strictly getting digital and waiting 6 months when it's £1.50 an issue, because I'll give you an example. A 32-page Wolverine and Predator comic, just standard comic, $5.99. Whereas DC do like a 40-page comic, say for example, or even a 48-page comic like Action for $4.99. Marvel now are doing that $4.99 for a standard comic, and the 40-page ones, which normally is just like a crappy fill-in backup story, they're charging $5.99. And anything with Jonathan Hickman on, like the Ultimates ones, they're $6.99. So if you want to waste your money, go that route. But or if you're American, route. Why do you say routes? Why? It's route. But yeah, I don't know if I'm not being childish. You've got a budget, and if they did it on high quality paper, or even average paper like DC do, or did cardstock covers, then I'd have no problem with it. But their production values, Marvel don't care. They don't care for the fans. They just do it just to use the comics right intellectual properties, and it's annoying because they're owned by a huge company, but you can tell they're not bothered about the fans. They're just fleecing people. So with Marvel, if it's a story I want to read, I'd rather wait 6 months and just get it digitally for a few pound. So that's my little rant over. um, let's leave on a happy note like that. And I shall do another video in the next few days looking at all the new number ones coming out. And what I think I'll do as well, it's like a side companion, I'll look at the new collected editions coming out. Because I know I get quite a lot of collected editions, and I'm sure it'd be nice to just show you what's out there. Okay, thanks, bye.